first, fair, accurate. From our newsrooms in Eugene, Roseburg, and Coos Bay, KPAL News starts now.
A fire in Dexter leaves a home in ruins tonight. Good evening, I'm David Walker.
And I'm Kristen Goodwoolley. The fire near Highway 58 broke out this afternoon, and several agencies rushed in to help. For the latest, KVAL's Stephanie Rothman joins us live from near the fire. Stephanie, do you know what started this fire?
The fire is now contained, but the scene is still very active with crews coming in and clearing the area. The smoke was pretty heavy just a few moments ago, with ash falling down on neighbors and first responders here, and that's why we're over here safe away from that fire scene. But, you know, traffic was at a standstill for a very long time because of this fire, and now it is moving pretty clear on Highway 58. But we do think that fire responders are going to be here overnight, making sure that no fire spreads to the nearby area. We have the fire that happened 2 homes to my right, and that is where they're going to be making sure that the scene stays cool and wetted down for everyone. The cause is unknown at this time, but 4 people who live in this home are safe and sound with no injuries, and there are no fatalities to report. But 3 dogs are still missing, so they're looking for them, and they're making sure that everything stays wetted down so no fires start up again in this area. We will keep you updated with more information as we get it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Stephanie. Fire officials managing the Terwilliger fire say smoke has been an issue for air crews today. A lot of haze over the Cougar Reservoir has been coming in and out, so they haven't been able to use a helicopter as much as they have been. There also has been a little wind today to push what haze is there out of the picture. Crews have also been clearing debris from a landslide on a forest road to make sure they can use that road if there's an emergency. The fire has burned 8,400 acres and is now 23% contained.
Turning to the forecast, here's a live look outside our tower camera where sunshine has made for a wonderful Labor Day.
It has been a nice one. Our chief meteorologist, Travis Knudsen, joining us from the Weather Center, taking a look at what we can expect tonight.
Well, the evening looks to continue our very comfortable and sunny trend. We're actually past the warmest part of the day. We've lost a degree or 2 from our daytime highs, but this evening, very nice. Here's a look at where those temperatures wound up today for our Labor Day. 82 degrees in Eugene. Corvallis made it to 81. Even on the coast, mid-60s there where sunshine made for a nice day. And Medford, Ontario, both made it into the 90s this afternoon. Now for our Tuesday, the sunshine will continue. Maybe a couple afternoon wind gusts picking up tomorrow. We're seeing a little bit of that today. Temperatures for the week ahead at or above average across the state of Oregon. Now, here's our plan tonight. If you're heading out for your Labor Day evening, still very comfortable. By the time we get to around the 9 o'clock hour, temperatures will be in the 60s. Overnight lows around 50 degrees. Tomorrow, mid-80s on the way, and our temperatures keep on climbing for a couple days. I'll tell you how many in my forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Travis. New at 6, police are trying to find whoever is responsible for illegally killing an elk just east of Reedsport. Oregon State Police says someone found the bull elk shot and killed with an arrow Friday evening in the Dean Creek elk viewing area. OSP says whoever killed it didn't try to harvest any of the meat. OSP is asking for the tips through the Turn-In Poachers tip line. Information that leads to the arrest and conviction of an elk poacher can lead to a $500 reward. This evening, Salem police are searching for suspects in a shooting late Sunday night near McKay High School. Officers responded to Lancaster Drive northeast near the intersection with Sunnyview Road around midnight. So far, we know 1 victim was treated at the scene. Right now, there's no word on any arrests, and officers haven't revealed any suspect information. 1
woman is dead, 2 men injured after a boat crash had happened on the Columbia River. On the Columbia River slough west of Camas last night. That was just after 7:30.
Now, both boats were going fast enough to be riding on top of the water when they collided. Bob High reports.
It was dark Sunday night by the time first responders took these photos of the 2 boats involved in the collision. The woman who died was in the smaller boat with a man who was critically injured. The man treated and released from the hospital was in the larger boat.
We're just camping and we heard 2 boats collided in the slough over there.
Todd Agnetti was not far away from the deadly crash site And not far away from this scene, people digging into the sand trying to salvage another boat that had also crashed Sunday night just upriver onto rocks in the middle of the Columbia River. He's familiar with the slough where the boats hit each other just after 7:30 Sunday night.
It's a tight area. I wouldn't want to be in there with, more than another boat,
Certainly a place to slow down, huh?
Yeah, and just pay attention.
Just getting rescuers to that isolated area is difficult.
It is, yeah, just the road to there, but then the bank down, yeah, it was really muddy apparently, so they had a real problem with the mud.
Investigators say evidence already shows both boats were going fast enough to be on plane, a nautical term that means a boat is riding on top of the water instead of slowly plowing through it.
It's faster than an idle, obviously, and you're up on the wake, but it doesn't mean, like I said earlier, that you're doing anything reckless or dangerous to be up on plane.
It's been a busy Labor Day weekend on the Columbia River, but that slough doesn't see a lot of traffic. Investigators say there's no evidence either boat driver was impaired, but they haven't ruled that out yet.
Well, the owner of the Portland Trailblazers and the Seattle Seahawks has made his largest ever jump into politics. The Seattle Times reports Paul Allen has donated $100,000 to a group looking to keep Republicans in control of the U.S. House. Protect the House is a committee headed by House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. In the election cycle, Allen has donated $173,000 to Republican causes. He's donated about $46,000 to Democratic groups.
Colin Kaepernick has been named as the face of Nike's new Just Do It campaign. The former San Francisco 49ers quarterback shared a photo today with the quote, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything." Kaepernick gained fame for starting the movement of kneeling during the national anthem to protest police brutality. He hasn't played football since that season. Kaepernick has claimed that NFL teams are colluding to keep him out of a job. Just last week, an arbitrator ruled there was enough evidence to send the collusion case to trial.
Timeshare scams are something Oregon's Attorney General and the Federal Trade Commission are warning the public about.
And here in Eugene, officials are warning you to be wary if you're ever contacted by a company promising to get you out of a timeshare. KVAL's Alex Hassan-Staub is looking into this issue in our area. Alex?
Well, you may have gotten a letter asking about a timeshare you may or may not have. This is exactly what happened to a couple in Eugene, but they were suspicious of the letter and brought it to our attention. Mary Miller and her husband Raymond were thrown for a loop when a strange letter addressed to Raymond arrived in the mail.
Well, the interesting thing about the envelope is that there was absolutely nothing on the outside identifying who it was with.
It was from Newton Group Transfers.
We are going to get you out of your timeshare.
And the letter said the company could help Raymond get out of his timeshare contract and eliminate fees.
Timeshare? That's really strange because I don't have a timeshare.
They were confused and even went as far to check with family, but they had not inherited any timeshares.
And we got online and we did a Google search on the company.
Newton Group Transfers is not a confirmed scam. They have a high score from the Better Business Bureau, but also a number of complaints ranging from excessive advertising to lack of service after people had already paid.
One of the women mentioned is that they immediately started asking for credit card information.
But letters like this are indicative of a broader issue.
Anytime you hear the words timeshare resale, that's when that's a red flag and you need to really do some research.
Debbie Janicek is the supervisor for the Eugene Police Department's Crime Prevention Unit. They keep tabs on scams that could affect people in the area.
These people are going to you. It's always best if you seek out these types of services from yourself.
The Millers feel they were targeted because they're baby boomers.
They're the ones who are starting to get these inheritances, may not even understand what this is all about.
And they're happy they had some insight on what to do. We did reach out to the Newton Group for comment, but we have not yet received a response. We do have links to resources on our website, kval.com, that can help you spot a scam.
Thanks, Alex. Oaks Park in Portland continued a decades-long tradition, hosting a Labor Day picnic today. Alongside all the usual rides, the picnic offers barbecue and live music. This year, the picnic got a special visit from Governor Kate Brown. She's hoping to align herself with the unions and working families for whom Labor Day was founded.
We're celebrating Labor Day and the hardworking families across the United States that built this country and literally built the middle class. I'm proud to be here with my colleagues and working families and look forward to moving Oregon forward.
Well, a big barbecue in Springfield raised some money for local veterans. The VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars Springfield chapter, cooking more than 80 cases of chicken to raise money for local veterans and for charities. That includes VFW operations, housing, and scholarship projects. The Labor Day barbecue is what helps keep them funded through the winter.
It helps to feed the community, and it draws awareness for veterans, and we get a lot of people that are veterans that have never joined, and they come in here and they see what's going on, and they see we're active in the community, and they sign up, and so it really promotes the mission.
They did meet their $8,000 goal today. The biggest days to support the VFW will be Memorial Day, 4th of July, and today on Labor Day. Well, next here on KVAL News, Oregon's Director of Education talking about bullying and why he says it's such a big issue in schools.
Plus, a look at what it takes to keep kids fed as they start school. That's right after the break.
As students go back to school, educators say it's important to make sure those students feel safe, happy, and welcome. Nothing hurts a student's chances to ace that class when they're not happy to be at school or are being bullied. Well, according to the U.S. Department of Education, 70% of young people say they have seen bullying in their school. Oregon is no exception. The director of the Oregon Department of Education tells us what the state is doing to help.
We definitely want to create schools in Oregon, and I believe our educators feel the same way, that are both welcoming and safe, and where students who come there feel valued for who they are and what they bring to the school environment. When students feel like they're a part of the school community, they're more engaged, they're coming to school regularly, we reduce chronic absenteeism. When they're in school more, they're more likely to graduate and graduate on time.
There are several laws and state agencies dedicated to the research of bullying, its effects, and prevention. Making sure a student feels comfortable at school improves their chances of success and graduation.
One of the things that we're very excited about, though, is some support to create a statewide student voice network, where we would have students across the state of Oregon who would be meeting and weighing in on the policies that drive the activities in their schools and their school districts locally, and then we would bring them together at least a couple of times a year to shift the policies at the state level.
Gill says preventing bullying and higher graduation rates can go hand in hand. He says overall graduation rates have gone up about 5 percentage points a year. And Gill says if you or someone you know is being harassed, tell a teacher or a guidance counselor. And he says get involved in the Oregon Department of Education's Future Student Network. And when kids go back to class, it takes an army to feed them all.
That's right. KVAL's Kelsey Christensen has a look at how the Springfield School District runs their food operation.
This food is on its way out.
Once it's on the truck, it goes pretty fast.
Workers deliver 1 pallet of dry food and a pallet of frozen food to every Springfield school each week.
Promise I won't run you over. We're actually loading a truck for Hamlin Middle School. Middle schools, they're hungry kids, so they eat a little more.
Once the food is in the truck, it's ready to be delivered to schools and prepared into nearly 5,000 daily lunches and 2,000 daily breakfasts.
So now we're here at Hamlin Middle School, and we're going to unload all their groceries and deliver them to their kitchen. Hopefully it'll fit through the door.
Tim Stevens from Springfield Public Schools says the district is unique in that it has its own warehouse to store food.
We use Umpqua Dairy, and then we also use Emerald Produce. We try to keep it as fresh as we can and deliver it at the very last possible moment.
Into the freezer it goes.
My glasses are fogging up every time I come out.
From pizza to chicken.
These ones here are about 20 pounds together.
To create a healthy meal.
When they run short on food, we're able to get that stuff right over to them as soon as we can.
We're all just one big happy family. It's like a team, and it's really nice to come into these places and be greeted so warmly.
All to keep every student fed. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Kelsey Christensen.
Well, as school begins for many, the sunshine starts to end a little bit as well. Rain is in the forecast. I'll tell you how many days of sun we got. That's coming up next.
Now weather with Chief Meteorologist Travis